Hey everybody, Vinny D here, and the Wolf, about to do 40 on 40. Here we are in front of my Trek bike, all rigged up on the cycling Volkswagen of Justice, and we're about to set off to our starting point in front of Jones College in lovely Ellisville, Mississippi.
Where he went to college. My husband, starting from his school that he graduated from to going to the school where I'm from, to the dorm where we met.
Here I go. I love you.
I love you.
And we're off. This part didn't exactly work out as planned. I tried turning the camera inward, but it seems I take up too much of the picture, and on top of that, my voice is completely drowned out by the road noise. The first step was just getting out of Jones College, which is a shame you couldn't see the beautiful brickwork structures there. It's also been quite some years since I graduated, so I ended up going down a dead-end street and actually had to make a U-turn to get back to a road with access to the outside. My trip would take me down Augusta Road, which passes by the west side of Jones campus, and past the old dormitories. I have a lot of fond memories from there, with me and my best friend Mac hanging out many an afternoon after class, playing video games, and illegally downloading music on old-school Napster using the school's T1 line. Augusta Road would make up nearly half of my journey. It's one long and very rural stretch that, as far as I could tell from the maps, was going to be mostly forest and farms. And that's ahead. From here, I'm going to save you a good 10 minutes of staring at my undulating belly and skip to the part where I turn the camera around. Once I crossed the last city street in Ellisville, civilization quickly disappeared, and it was all trees for a while. Here you see where it's opened up to a little bit of a farm. That building you see on the right is actually a bait shop. You can always find one of those no matter where you are in Mississippi. No matter how deep you are in the woods, you can find a bait shop. Because there's a lot of rivers running through Mississippi, and there's always fishing to be had. One of the beautiful things about Mississippi is just how green it is. If you don't like trees, stay the hell out of Mississippi. If you don't like the color green, stay out of Mississippi. Because this is taking place on a crisp autumn morning. It's actually a good bit chilly, but you can see everything, even the grass, is still pretty green. So there was a lot of pretty scenery to be seen on my trip. The first few miles of a long trip are always rough. Your legs start to gum up, and you just start asking yourself, how many more miles? How much longer? What did I get myself into? Can I just find signal and get out of this? But then, a few miles in, you break the rust out of your legs and they just start spinning. Your heart rate evens out, you breathe deep from the fresh, clean air, and it just sort of happens. You reach a state of cycling zen. And at that point, you stop looking at your speedometer. If you're using GPS, maybe you just turn it off. Or at least darken the screen, because you're not looking at speed, and you're not counting the miles. Whether the miles go fast or slow just stops mattering. A lot of things just don't matter when you're out on the open road by yourself. You just feel that zen and that sense of complete freedom. That's really what I enjoy about cycling, especially this sort of long distance cycling. It's a really freeing experience. In this area, the trees opened up and I found a few homes here, just alongside the road. The map doesn't mention a town here. There are no stores. Don't see anything resembling a community, not even a sign. Just some houses here. Woods. Some people living their lives here, and some more woods. And that's what a lot of Mississippi is like. Just middle of nowhere, but people are here. Just living. It's just a small rural community dotted along a few houses on what barely qualifies as a road. And who says that has to be a bad thing? Some people just make the choice to live out here, in the middle of nowhere. They traded off the convenience of city life or even suburban life for the peace and peace of mind of living in the countryside. But I couldn't dwell on that for too long. A traveler's way is to always keep moving, and just as quickly as I found this place, it vanished back into the woods. Nothing but trees in every direction as far as the eye could see. That hill you see up there, I thought to myself when I saw it in the distance, good thing the road wraps around it and doesn't go up it. How wrong I was. I just walked up an absolute monster of a hill. Yes, I said walked. No shame in walking. Sometimes you defeat the hill. Sometimes you are defeated by the hill. I say this to myself every time I end up walking. Just every time I thought I was at the top, there was just more hill. And more hill. And more hill. No, it qualifies as a hike at this point. Well, the hill is done. I'm about to start the descent. No more hills, please. Even though I've already checked the map, I know there's more hills. Let this be the biggest one.